Well, that's where the music ends and thus the stream begins. Hello!
Hello.
And so we get...
Hello.
Yeah. And so we will get chill music up. For backgrounds. Here's a weird looking cat.
Oh yeah, cat.
Yeah,
Which I had eyes.
Ragdoll's drawn a burglar cat.
Look,
Meanwhile,
there's nothing that says you have to draw a cat. I just got into the habit of doodling a quick cat before stream because those are easy, and then everyone just decided, yeah, let's do that. For some reason.
It's a fun theme. Hey, Bab!
You're a trendsetter. Nothing wrong
That's a
with being a
frightening thought.
trendsetter.
Most trendy. How's the bear doing? Also, how's Christy and Ragdoll? I don't think I've asked. Got too distracted with being late and sneezing.
Achoo. I've relearned watercolor today,
Yee.
so that's pretty neat.
That's pretty darn cool.
Watercolors. Painting a lot of smoke. Good luck with that.
Mysterious
Oof,
alchemy.
That is,
Do not understand watercolors, they are a mystery to me. More evidence, yet more evidence if any was needed, that Christy is too powerful. What's the smoke? Smoke. Are you painting in watercolors? Might help, watercolors are good at smoke. Sorry, I missed it, that was what that was about. I'm a good streamer, don't worry about it. So another issue on top of the fact that I've had very bad hay fever today, is that I also went out for a meal with family. And being an Englishman of a certain age, when you have a meal in the middle of the day and you then sit down, your brain deactivates. It's just a law. It just happens. I sat down on my at my desk. I put on a stream and I just stared at the stream for an hour, doing absolutely nothing.
I know that.
So I'm kind of rebooting at the moment. So I apologize for missing anything and everything. That's my excuse anyway.
Very understandable excuse.
Oh wow, really? Breaking news. Joe Biden withdraws from US presidential election race. Well, there you go.
Huh. I would have expected to hear this news from supernatural memes.
Yes. Yeah. That is how I get most of my breaking news nowadays. But instead, I got my news about the American political system from an Australian in Britain. Well, there you go. Honestly, like, I don't know. I don't have much of a horse in this race. I mean, I do, because I know what the alternative is. And also, I'm going to stop this sentence to clear my throat.
On one hand,
there you go.
Sentence to clear my
like,
sanity.
Yeah.
Like, there's that. Like, if this had been like any normal year, it probably would have been the case that the 80-plus-year-old incumbent would have gone, hey, I think I'm just going to retire. Someone else can be the party's representative. But this is a year where it's like, okay, we need to stick with something that people know what to expect with, because the opposition has decided to put in an actual criminal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Ay.
But the one thing I was going to say is that as somebody who recently lived through an election in which the opposition was trying to, replace the Conservative majority, however, they spent the entirety of the campaign debating whether or not their leader should resign. Funnily enough, the accusations that were the reason he should resign was that he was being anti-Semitic for saying that Israel's treatment of Palestine was not very good. That didn't age well. I know, right? History's rather turned around on that one, but anyway. But yeah, in the process, basically, all the electorate just sort of abandoned that party, and they sort of crumbled into dust. So I'm rather glad that's not going to happen in America. Please.
Well, if only because we effectively only have a two-party system, so someone's going to get put into that slot. The fun thing is, like, if he had stuck around, this wouldn't have been the first time that people have gone, cool, when you're voting, think about who the VP is, because chances are they're not going to stay the VP for long.
Yeah.
Although darkly hilariously, I think the thing that's going to shoot the Republican Party more in the foot is less the fact that they have a fascist moron who doesn't know how to run anything, including businesses, despite the fact that people think he's good at running businesses. He's not. And is actually the reason why a lot of corporate evil assholes in media from, like, the 80s are the way they are. Like, the thing that seems to have shot them more in the foot is they gleefully went, here's our projected ideas for what we want to do in 2025 after we obviously win this election, and we're going to stick our names on it, and everyone's sitting here going, what do you mean you're going to put the weather report behind a paywall?
What?
So, okay, there's this thing called it's like Project 25 or Project 2025, which is basically like, here's all of the plans that we have for once we get into power. And a lot of it is sort of like the regular nonsense that we were aware of. Yes, we know that you want to remove women's rights to manage their own healthcare. Yes, we know you hate queer and trans people. Yes, we know you hate immigrants. And then there's some other sneaky stuff in there, like the National Weather Service is going to be put behind a paywall, and it's like, now wait a minute.
Yeah, what? That's not like racist, anti-Semitic, anti-anything. It's just stupid.
Yeah, especially since
it's anti-socialism. You can't be giving away things for free. What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah, that's gonna, like I said,
in a highly toxic socialist country, I forgot, so, yeah.
Well,
I forget about these things.
Part of the other problem is, and like I said, I don't know all of the details of the weather that you guys have, but good chunks of the United States have people who rely on that sort of information to not die.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, there's like fucking tornadoes and shit, right?
Tornadoes, hurricanes, gale force winds, straight line winds. If you're up in the mountains, there's probably going to be snow in times of the year where you're like, this doesn't make any sense, it's fucking April. So, yeah.
Snow,
And I mean, that's not like the only thing in there, obviously. Like, it's a huge report with a bunch of stuff, but that's the one that got me looking at that going, you want to what?
Yeah, that does make one go, huh.
Googling references.
Yeah.
It's the best.
References, good.
It's the best, even if you can't find exactly what you want. And also
scrolling for hours.
scroll.
Trying to find the right reference picture.
Also, Christy, looking over now, I find it very funny that you went through and lovingly sculpted this man's musculature and abs, and now you're pulling a Julia and covering it all with clothes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to know what the anatomy is like so I know how to cover it.
well, yes, but like I can understand needing to know, like, okay, here's what the leg is, and I'm going to put some shading in here so that I know that the leg is at the right angle. But you didn't have to go through and draw in all of those abs.
Look, you're allowed to draw 2 pictures over the course of drawing one.
True.
It's fine. I mean, in the internet world of, content, it's actually a good thing because you can post alternate versions and stuff. It's multiple pieces of content for the same effort.
Get those
kind of.
13 Instagram photos in a row.
Or you can pull here's the version of the picture that gets posted publicly, and if you want to see the other version of the picture, subscribe to my 18 plus Patreon where I take his
Pulling a Saki-chan.
Pulling a who now?
It's an artist that does that. Makes
I mean,
not
I know a
safe for
couple
versions.
who do that, but yeah, it's like here's the safe for work version, and you can see the pantsless version if you are subscribed to Patreon, which perfectly understandable and very fair.
Didn't Patreon have like a huge purge of not safe for work stuff recently?
Kind of. Most of the stuff is mostly if your thing is marked as not safe for work, it's very hard to find it unless you have a direct link. But most of the stuff they're freaking out about is stuff where you're just sort of squinting at them. And other websites have done similar things. So, like, apparently Fur Affinity did a little bit of a freak out, and we're just sort of sitting here going, what do you mean you need to know that this anthropomorphic Eevee is over the age of 18? It's an anthropomorphic Eevee! Like,
you have to fit things into boxes so we understand it.
Like, I can understand hey, if you post stuff on our website that is literally illegal for you to be possessing, that's not on us, that's on you. We will get the law on your ass because completely understandable. But like, I don't care that much about furry porn.
Hi.
Yeah. The Jeeb.
Jeeb is here.
Surprise, Jeeb.
Surprise, Jeeb.
Yeah.
Surprise party?
Yes.
It's always a party when
Surprise.
Jeeb's here.
Yes. Yeah.
I bring the party. The tired, sunburned party.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Drink water and stick aloe on your skin.
Yeah.
Drink aloe,
Aloe
stick
gel
water.
for sure.
What?
actually. I've now just realized I'm pretty sure aloe is a plant that's more native over here. I'm assuming you guys have aloe vera type stuff.
I do, certainly.
Yes,
Yeah, we do.
but mostly for like soap.
Soap?
Yeah.
Aloe
Soap.
scented stuff.
Oh, yeah. Usually just scented stuff or like contains aloe vera, but it's not like I
don't know. Usually I've got it either we're using the plant very raw or it's a green gel that's been made with it.
Yeah, no.
It is
Not
highly
over.
processed here.
Oh.
Probably
Well,
not
yes,
even aloe.
because I'm pretty sure it's not native there because it's a desert plant.
Exactly.
And Bear,
Which
you are
makes it-
fair
makes
with
it
that?
Perfect on my windows, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact, since it's a desert
Yeah.
plant, it's sort of easy, quote unquote, to take care of as just a windowsill plant, because it doesn't need a whole lot of space dirt-wise, and it doesn't need a whole lot of water. And in fact, if you overwater it, that might be a bad thing.
Very
And Bear,
much
you
so.
are... I support you in this endeavor on a couple of different reasons. Reason number one being, if they're using an AI, quote unquote, system to make images like that, the database had to get images to use from somewhere. So, in one way or another, it's making use of images of young. If they do look very young, that means that the dataset has been loaded with images of very young human beings, and I have a feeling, even if those images are completely benign images, I have a feeling that they do not have permission to be using those images in their dataset.
Also, it's not
and
like
certainly not in that way.
It's not like they can say, "Oh yeah, this is above 18." Because it's like, okay, prove the computer used resources above 18. Off you go.
Yeah, it's one thing if it's like, oh, this is a model, they're 22, but everyone keeps carding them everywhere because everyone thinks they're like 16 or something. That's an actual human being. This is a data set. And yes, it would not surprise me if Australia has more aloe vera gel than Europe does, if only because 1, more sun, 2, more desert. In fact, if I remember correctly, a good chunk of Australia has habitat that aloe could grow fairly well in. Not that I'd want to introduce it. You don't want to just like introduce new plants to an area it's not from.
Sorry, I just got Kratos jump scared.
Yeah, I see Dark
Nice.
threw a lock at you.
Hello, Dark, how are you? It's a duck. Can't draw today. Then again, that's been a theme all week.
You're finding me
Celebrity
so
art
much
post.
stuff dark.
It gets excited and finds all of the shiny things.
It's good. I like it.
I mean, you've only just done session 0. I'm sure you could use that to implement some of the things mechanically between now
Oh,
and your
yeah,
actual
yeah.
session 1.
Yeah. As long as Chib understands it. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still where I am? What?
Still?
Is it still? I mean, there's no earthquake.
Well, that's good. I'm glad there's no earthquake.
I would be very surprised if there was. I was under the impression there wasn't a lot of tectonic activity around where you are.
Yeah, you can get the occasional rumble, but nothing major. Still hot, right? Okay. Yeah, we're on the tail end of it now. It's very. There's been some rain, so it's now very sticky. But tomorrow should be all good. Should be a little cooler. How's it in Cheebland? I mean, you got sunburnt, so it's probably relatively obvious.
I got sunburned yesterday. Today it's been a little nicer, and with that, I mean, it's still, like, 25 degrees, but,
Better than 30.
better than 30, that's what
Yeah.
we're going for.
It's a low bar, but we think it's one we can achieve.
Creative seems to have kind of abandoned, but the homebrew scene is very active and works really hard on that. Well, that's great. I love that. That's a good thing.
Once was in an aftershock in South Wales. The table wobbled. Terrifying.
Recommend finding and joining the Discord. Think of it like a quest.
What are we doing?
Alright. We'll see.
Well, Christy's up here just wholesale making an outfit.
It'll be ready for purchase.
I am attempting a design for my Borderlands character. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just faffing around, basically.
I mean, with my limited understanding of Borderlands style, I think the main thing you need to make sure you've got present are just edges. Just like lots of sharp things.
I mean,
Touch yourself on those edges.
Ooh, internet. But yeah, I'm giving it a go. It's as much as anyone can ask from me.
yeah.
Because if you ask more, you'll be disappointed.
Well, in that case, I won't ask more.
Yay! See little, but hear stuff at least. Hello, Doc! Also, when I just Google Borderlands, I get a lot of images of the Psycho for brand recognition. But also just a lot of images of Zane. Zane is just like the new poster child of Borderlands, it seems.
Good for him.
I mean, seems fair.
Why not?
Probably preferable to having Claptrap be the face of the series, as it were.
Yeah, Zane before Claptrap, that's interesting. Didn't think of that.
It's because everyone who actually plays Borderlands doesn't want Claptrap to be the face of Borderlands.
In fact, actually, I'm having to scroll quite far to see Claptrap. Oh, there he is. I mean, in art for the pre-sequel, so that doesn't really fully count, but whatever.
He was voted sexiest assassin. Yeah, that's true.
By whom?
Zane was
Zane.
canonically voted sexiest assassin.
Sorry, I thought
it was Claptrap.
Okay, yeah, I thought we were talking about Claptrap. That's fine. That's good. We're all right.
No. Claptrap not voted sexiest assassin. That's not something he can put on his resume.
It would not surprise me though if he submitted himself for the running for sexiest.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be entirely in character, I think.
And then lost because everyone looked at it and went, "Who's this chode? He doesn't even go here."
I was just thinking a kind of, Tumblr sexy man sort of thing. That weird vote ended up with Claptrap as voted most annoying being in existence. Well, you haven't heard the Jack Black version yet, so let's see how much worse that can get.
Oh,
Looking forward to it.
Remind me the movie is coming.
Okay, but the question is, if the voice acting for Claptrap is really, really annoying, is that considered a success or a failure?
Yeah, it's sort of difficult to lose, really. It's easy to lose.
Depends.
Just be forgettable. Sort of seems to be a lot of the issue.
With an entire scene set in Piss Valley, yeah, that's the one I'm most worried.
Piss Valley?
Yeah, it's in the trailer, like, they're, like... Because they're, like, racing through, like, Piss Valley or whatever they call it. Because Borderlands has potty humor. It has a lot of it. It's very crude like that. I don't mind that. But... the trailer... No.
The trailer, ... no.
It already lasted too long in the trailer, the scene. So I have no hopes for the movie.
It's a hilarious gag about not rolling up a window in Piss Valley. Ha ha ha! Also, I didn't realise you were there because everyone in my chat has the same coloured name.
Yeah. It's Tiny Tina refusing to, like, put the window back up and, like, oh, you should do it because we're going through Piss Valley. Whoops, piss in mouth. And it's a scene in a trailer and it already lasts too long for
Borderlands movie is called terrible and unfunny in early reviews.
Wonderful.
Well,
Some fans defend the film without having seen it.
Good. Great.
Both great, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, on the other hand, though, new Borderlands comic revealed.
I can understand a defense in the sense of we haven't seen it yet, wait till you see it to judge. But if it's just a no, it's amazing, even though you haven't seen it yet, that's stupid.
Like, I'm also, like, very hesitant to immediately go, like, oh, like, reviews now have, like, come out and said it's bad, because I don't know who wrote those reviews, and I imagine most movie critics are gonna fucking hate it. Just based on the principle of what Borderlands is.
There is that. Like, depending on who the movie critics are, this might be okay, I see you do not understand how humor, quote-unquote, in Borderlands works.
Yeah, like, for all, like, the Borderlands kind of humor is never gonna sit well with, like, a movie critic or, like, a movie reviewer who does that professionally, because that's just, if you don't like that kind of humor, it's a lot of it and it will look bad. Like, that is the thing about Borderlands. It is a very crude, cringy franchise, which is wonderful. But that doesn't erase the fact that it's crude and cringy and all sorts of things that most people won't generally enjoy unless they also enjoy Borderlands. Moxie won't be on screen with massive bahonga banana longas. What? Well, what's the reason to make a Borderlands movie then? You're not gonna have Moxie's massive bahonga balonga longas.
Maybe just give Moxie a set of bongos.
Yeah.
Also, on the cover of this comic, it's not Louis, but it looks like Louis, and I want it to be Louis. More Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Stick Louis in the film. Much better. I would have Louis as a fourth wall breaking character just taking the piss out of the film as it's happening.
Why am I not?
Are we planning a second campaign even though we haven't started the first yet?
Yeah, apparently. After Borderlands 3 cheap make, we'll do the Borderlands movie cheap make. If the movie has a remotely salvageable plot, yeah. We'll see about that.
To be fair, the plot of the movie might just be like a crappy retread of an earlier game, so it might not be much material there.
Based on the trailer, it's like a weird... like... I honestly don't know anymore. It's been too long since I watched the trailer and I'm not gonna watch it again. But it felt like a bit of like a reimagining of like the first one, maybe? Because it felt very like, based on the trailer, it felt very like, let's get the gang together for the first time, kind of like thing. think these unlikely heroes are gonna do stuff. Which is not that imaginative, and also if you're gonna do that, just fucking use the Borderlands 1 cast. Not that I don't like Tiny Tina and Krieg, but also I love Mordecai and Greg. It's just like a weird gang to get together, in my opinion. But maybe I don't know enough about Borderlands for that.
Well, you know, way more than me. So.
Hi, Hero.
Heroes here.
We're talking about the Borderlands movie, so you've come just in time.
Cute Moira.
That's my contribution to the drawing wall today. Enjoying Toon Dryer Commando. Aww.
Oh, hope you feel better soon, Carol. Hope you're doing well. I've been sneezing for 12 hours, but did take an allergy tablet just before the stream. That seems to have worked.
That's something.
Mm-hmm.
I hate clothes.
Resident naturist Christy there.
I don't wanna work on it anymore.
You don't have to. It looks good though.
But I do.
You don't have to. You are in control of your own destiny, Christy. You can do as you wish.
Never in control of my own destiny.
You am.
It does look really good, Christy.
Thank you. It's messy at best.
But it's good. Messy can be good.
Yeah. If you
There's
don't
one-
know what you're doing, make it look like concept art.
I was gonna say, there's one thing I've learned from looking at a lot of illustrators recently. It's that Messy can be real good.
Messy can be really fucking good, actually.
I will prefer a drawing that looks a little messy on the covers of my books over the clean clip art ass nonsense that you see so often these days.
Yeah, it was a Tumblr post I saw recently that was like, if there's one thing like AI art quotes has done is like make people feel more okay with like art not being perfect.
Oh yeah.
Which I think, yeah.
I'm way
Like-
happier that I'm my like visible strokes rather than trying to clean it up into perfectly clean
Yeah.
sort of lines. Like my hand made that. Sorry, I interrupted, Carrie.
No, that's all I had to say.
Carry on.
That was that comment. But yeah, I just read that and I thought, oh, I've never really thought of it that way, but that does make sense. Like, yeah. I mean, of course, people are gonna like it more if, like, in a time where it becomes more and more difficult to even, like, differentiate between AI stuff and real actual pictures, of course people are gonna gravitate more towards unclean, weird, unfinished.
All the hallmarks of a human.
Unclean, weird, unfinished.
Do you have skag cam? What do you mean by that?
I'm assuming he's looking through stuff
Yeah.
for his influencer character.
Yeah. Kira, for your information, Dark shared more shit.
Affirms all the
like
shiny.
more classes and like archetypes and stuff like that, so you don't have to do with it anything, of course. If you're like, that's too much, I'll stick with what I have so far, but you know, feel free to look through it and like if you want to change something, let me know. Because the which one is it? The DLC 2 one has another commando skill tree with a mobile turret.
Ooh.
So I don't, you know, what, or if you are like, I want to do completely something else, there's also something for a pirate, I believe, so. But you don't have to, I just want to point it out. Every streamer with a pet has a pet cam. That is true.
I mean, we have occasionally seen Kiki Cam.
Yeah, Kiki Cam.
Is this a Borderlands?
Yeah, I've been talking a little bit about Borderlands.
Here we go.
And
Borderlands are
Chris is drawing his Borderlands character, I believe.
I'm trying, yes.
It looked really fun and very Borderlands.
I like the braids going around.
That was I'm gonna regret that, but
Yeah, you are.
Just draw a gun.
Also, I'm now just imagining someone walking up to your character and then just grabbing onto the braids like a handle.
Come along. More like
Also,
the
you have a fact.
Fact: the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which when this book was written were probably not as well known as they are now, have a most wanted list for flu viruses. Again, that's probably changed recently, but...
What? No. Can't imagine why.
Yeah, basic summary of my character is what you would expect from a maths teacher in the Borderlands world.
Insane.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Like, hey, I'm supposed to make sure that 50% of this population knows arithmetic. Easy way to do that. Kill the ones that don't. I think that's what we ascertained last time.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when you tutor tennis?
They do give I'm getting too old for this shit math teacher vibes, like a rowdy Borderlands class of teenagers. You have to look like this.
Well, that's the fun thing, is we have Dark's character who's like an influencer. But is alongside Kiro's character. The only characters, the only people on this planet that my character has found who know arithmetic. So, I've decided to go, okay, you're my class now. If you're a streamer, you got to know the numbers, because numbers go up. Got to make the number go up. But also my character is also very passionate about the practical applications of mathematics, like, you know, trajectories and accounting for...
I was about to say subtraction.
Yes, subtraction. Various, you know, the various forces acting upon a bullet as it flies into the head of somebody who didn't know how to add 2 and 2, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
The wonderful, you know,
Huge.
tracing of a quadratic graph as the blood splurts out of a jugular of a psycho onto a wall. You can see the effect of gravity as it travels further.
How to prove that the Earth isn't flat. With bullet trajectory.
Well, it's easy to prove how the Earth isn't flat.
You say that.
You stake a psycho in the ground, and you do it on a very hot day so that they slowly burn, and you follow their shadow and you trace the length of the shadow as time goes on, and from that you can prove angles of the sun and rotations of the planet. The ancient Greeks did this, only they did it with a stick, which is much less interesting than somebody screaming all the way through.
I will have to draw the skag friend as well. A little harness.
The little bag skag.
Oh my god. Like the, you know, the little corgi backpacks I've seen some influencers have, but for a skag.
Happen to randomly roll a 69 on character trait, which means my character is very hot and has a bonus of flirty talk checks. So, Kira, depending on what you're doing, you could just do the same thing that a good chunk of the Murderbot fandom has decided has happened with Murderbot, where it's not so much that your character is hot and they know it, it's just they are hot, not aware of it, and everyone is responding accordingly.
You like sirens, but streamer with a dog.
Big quotes around dog.
Yeah, just stick a skag in one of those. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. You would like a skag to be, like, near your neck, right? That's, like, an ideal place for them to be.
And also behind you.
Yeah, behind you with their mouth in your neck. That's where you want the skag to be, for sure.
I'm all drawn out, but I mean, I have drawn this guy and 2 watercolor pieces today, so
Yeah, you
it's alright.
2 watercolor pieces and this like impressionistic sort of almost Van Gogh painting of a guy in a forest. I was like, yeah, it's just a casual day's work. It's fine.
I like the description, guy in the forest.
Yeah.
It's just a guy in the forest. I think it's a good thing I cropped the image. I'm gonna share it in Discord. I'm gonna spoiler it because it's a bit spooky.
Spooky. Bacon and eggs. Go get bacon and eggs. Enjoy.
Egg.
Also, yay. Look at the little friend. I can never remember whether it's Bo or Nix. Bo?
Both.
Bo. Spoonky. Ooh, Spoonky. Hello, Spoonky.
Don't look up in the corner.
Well, it's just hanging out. Oops. It means that's to open up in the wrong thing.
I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine, yeah.
Well, it's just a little Spoonky lad hanging out.
Everything's fine in this image.
Yeah.
It's
Everything's
absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Just a guy in the forest.
We're all gonna have our little friends. Everyone gets a friend.
Everyone gets a little friend. I have to design a little friend as well.
Why is it cute?
He's cute.
Because it's a small thing next to a bigger thing.
Explaining human psychology.
Okay, so let's see. We have a pet skag, a turret.
Yeah.
And what should Crest's characters be?
I have
I don't
a
know
murder
why, but
robot.
my brain just immediately went to like just a floating calculator.
I mean, it is a murder robot. It does have like an electric claw attack or something like that. So presumably
Yeah, it's
a
based
claw.
on like the bird, but flavored to be a robot, basically.
No, that was when I was the Beastmaster. I went to the Necromancer.
Oh yeah. You now have a full robot.
I now have an actual robot. not a fake bird robot.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
someone like not into Borderlands and also not in your RPG, you're speaking absolute nonsense.
Correct.
I still think it should be the
It's
case
very
that the giant
entertaining.
murder robot has a calculator function.
Can do.
Probably. Yeah.
Mainly to demonstrate that people are wrong. Don't take my word for it. Summons robot.
Now I really love the idea of just like, let's switch over to the pet cam, and it's a skag like murdering someone. A turret. And
Good
just
boy.
a robot.
Good boy, have a little snacky.
They're just having little snackies.
Yeah.
Floating death robot torso. Fun. With claws and lasers.
Oh, I guess I've also got a massive backpack because they're a tinkerer and a hoarder. I chose tinkerer, I got hoarder. No, little robot has massive back. Much
The
better.
robot carries your stuff.
Yeah, my ability is not to summon the robot out of nowhere, it is to tell the robot to put my stuff down and join it.
Okay. Fair enough.
This is just really funny to me, considering that I have spent the last couple of, well, not last summer, but before that, I had spent the past couple of years clearing out my dad's old office, because he had just so much stuff in his office as a mathematician.
Yeah. It does fit.
So I'm imagining anyone going through your character's bag, assuming it's safe to do so, or assuming they think it's safe to do so, will have a similar moment of pulling things up, and it's like, why do they have a drawing tablet? It was definitely a thing that I had happen. So I have a drawing tablet that for some reason was in my dad's office.
Secret artist.
Exactly.
I mean, he does do some art, but it's more like music. He's got a concertina
Ooh.
that he kind of knows how to play.
I was
What's
very
He does know how to play the recorder.
I was very close to buying a concertina not too long ago.
What's a Constantina? Yes, I said it wrong, I know.
A concertina, it's kind of similar to
Think of a pirate on a boat.
crap, my brain is going to just
Fusebox.
flurp on what they're called. Accordion. It's similar to an accordion, but instead of a keyboard, it's got a bunch of buttons.
To be fair, accordions can also just be buttons.
What? Yeah.
Accordions, as the name might imply, are special because they can play chords. One side of them is dedicated to chords. A concertina is just single notes. You can have both hands play single notes, so you can make like chords that way. But sorry, I'm getting into the details.
But like general shape, it looks sort of like an accordion, except it's just all buttons, no keyboards.
Is there ones that are both? Because I'm pretty sure I remember my uncle having both. Now I'm curious.
There's lots of different types of squeeze boxes. That's a concertina, yeah.
Yes.
Not to be confused with a bandonion,
Oh,
which is its
oh,
own
I
thing.
love that.
I don't know why I'm drawing this. There's a picture there.
That
now.
looks like it could be in a tavern in The Witcher. Love it.
Exactly. This is why I want it. You just play little songs on it. Have a good time. I have an accordion. It's very heavy and quite complicated. And those are just like, they look so
Accordion
simple.
music is honestly amazing.
It is people who can play accordions are just, frankly.
Oh yeah, I found one.
But yeah, he
This is
can
the
also play the
time that
recorder,
my
and he's got hand drums And he can sing.
Yeah, it's an accordion.
Bongo.
Sorry, I should show these on the stream. Nope. Oop. Oop. Right. Boom. Concertina. The squeeze box. It's got two sides and it's got these buttons on either side, and each button corresponds to a note or two. Some concertinas have a different note whether or not you're squeezing or pulling. Depends whether you're looking. One of my favourite things about concertinas is: do you want an English concertina or an Anglo concertina?
Yes.
Fun fact: they're completely different. And
I don't remember off the top of my head what kind my dad has.
Anglo is much more common, and it is also short for Anglo-German, which makes things even better. But yeah, each of these keys corresponds to a single note.
I was thinking, what? Anglo what?
It's Anglo-German. I don't know precisely why it's Anglo-German. And then you have the English one. Also, concertinas are really modern. I didn't realise that, because they're actually quite complicated.
Yeah,
things.
I think they were only made starting in like mid-ish 1800s.
I thought it was later than that. Concertina.
I can buy one for fairly cheap.
Oh no, it was 1829. Yeah, that's why I was considering getting one. They are quite cheap, but you can also get them very expensive.
Of course.
But anyway, yes, this is an accordion. It's a piano accordion because one side is a piano keyboard which plays either single notes or octaves of notes, and over here you have this horrific array of buttons, and each of those buttons is a different chord, i.e. 3 or maybe 4 notes playing at the same time. And keeping track of that bloody thing is why I think people who know how to play the accordion are wizards.
Yeah, my uncle plays that thing. He used to, and he would just he had this like music company thing where he would perform parties just using that.
I know,
it was amazing.
It's the sort of thing you have
really
to just...
a one-man band.
Yeah, you could, because you have chords and melody, and it's, you know, what more do you need? It's like playing the piano. But it's better than playing the piano because you can play a whole chord with one finger.
Wizard nonsense.
Wizard nonsense. Accordion wizard. New prompt.
I mean, you can get a PhD in music. It wouldn't surprise me if there was an accordion wizard in the Wizard Tower. Or if they had been kicked out of the Wizard Tower on account of the fact of being an accordion wizard. Because, I'm not sure about the accordions because I didn't grow up around one, but the concertina can get pretty loud.
Accordions can get even louder. Again, they play chords. Just one finger can play.
It kind of looks like
chords.
a tango accordion, apparently.
Tango? Again, there's
concertina.
Also, apparently, concertinas were invented in 1829, so you were correct, Ragdoll.
I was off by like 2 decades.
Closer than me, though. Yeah, you have the English concertina, the duet concertina, which is both hands do the same thing. And German ones, bandonions, which are huge.
See, the one my dad has is that hexagon shape, so I'm going to assume that means it's an Anglo concertina.
English and Anglo are both usually hexagon.
Okay, well then I have no idea. I don't know how to play the thing. I just know it exists and grew up with it.
You can tell the difference.
It's fun to mess around with.
If you hold down a key and push in and pull out, on an Anglo there'll be different notes. On an English they'll be the same.
Interesting.
Okay.
Right. Time to break out the concertina. Hold on.
Let's hear it, Chris.
I don't have one.
No, but you're gonna have to identify it.
Also, yes, the harmonica.
I
People-
want one.
I guess it's less obvious that the harmonica is a type of accordion, kind of. It's just instead of having bellows, you have your mouth.
Oh, I didn't think about that because in Danish is called a mouth harmonica and an accordion is called a harmonica.
Ah, there
So,
you go.
eh.
That's neat. In fact, I think the precursor to the concertina was. I was going to say was blown, and I don't know how that sounds wrong, but it does.
Sounds blown.
Sounds blown. Sounds blown. Was blown. Was blown, not sounds blown. I
It
don't know.
was blown.
Was blown. Was blown. What was it called? I'm looking up the person who invented it.
Okay, I found it. So Dad's on a camping trip, which is why I can't ask him what kind it is. I guess unless I text him or something, but there's no telling if he's got cell service. So let's see. Okay, currently it's closed.
That's two different notes. That's probably Anglo then.
Okay.
Yeah, the same
There
thing.
we go. Interestingly, it does say made in Italy on it.
Cool. The Anglo-German.
Anglo-Italian.
Yeah, the Anglo-German concertina made in Italy.
Even better.
Even better. That's like our Australian in Britain telling me about American politics. Honk. Hong Kong.
Hong
Oh,
Kong,
Jesus.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, most.
Yeah, just as
concertinas
loud
are
as I
Anglo.
remember it. Oh boy.
That is the other thing. It's difficult to. Can't turn it down, really. Although I do remember seeing somebody made an electric concertina. Where you know, instead of necessarily vibrating
That's metal.
reeds, it would sort of vibrate something which would then send an electronic signal out, which means that you could just plug it into an amp and turn it down or up as you want. Which now makes me want to hear an electric electric concertina rock solo. In the same way you get like people who put distortion on violins and it sounds amazing. You put a good. Here's a sentence for people who don't know much about music. You put a good flange on a violin. That sounds amazing.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, bless you. A flange on a violin doesn't sound like good.
It sounds great.
Feel like
Sounds
they're
like you spilled food on your violin.
It's put a distorted
Yeah.
flange.
a distorted flange.
Distorted flange. I'm personally a big fan of distorted flange.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess flange. Would it be distorted flange or flange distortion? I don't know. The flange comes first for me personally.
So how much butter is involved in this flange?
None, unless you want to talk to those people who think that the wood that a body of a guitar is made of affects the sound, in which case they would probably describe it as buttery somewhere along the line. But they're weird. I'm just talking about normal flanged violins.
Ah, okay. So no butter.
No butter.
But sugar?
Does that accordion say Excelsior?
Excelsior! Probably.
Might be the company that makes it.
Yeah. It's usually where the name goes.
Oh.
My dad's concertina also has a company name. I didn't read it off. I just noticed that it said made in Italy underneath that, and it's like, oh, Italian company.
Also, just so you know, I have in my how long is this now? I have a playlist on my computer called Unfinished Limbo, which contains all of the pieces of music I haven't finished. How many tracks does it have? 226. But there is one in there just called Flange. So just thought you'd be interested to. There's an exclamation mark and everything.
Bastari is the one written here on this concertina.
Oh.
Which means nothing to me. One of these days I'd like to learn how to play this thing, but...
So the reason... This is a... I guess going into slightly technical detail. The reason when you push and pull you get two different notes is basically so that if you're just constantly pulling on the bellows, you get something that sounds like the kind of root chord of a song, and then when you push in, it's all of the notes in between, which makes it sound like it wants to return to the root note. So you can just sort of pull for a bit, and then push for a bit, and then pull for a bit, and push for a bit, and it'll feel like it's sort of going back and forth between sort of two different sort of sections automatically, and it makes it sort of quite easy to play like jigs and things like that, which is why it was made that way.
Jigs.
Same with harmonicas.
Perfect for at 7.
See, I just remember when watching my dad whenever he was playing, he's always... It makes sense that it's a two-note thing, because whenever was playing, it's always a in and out, sort of swapping back and forth.
Yeah.
These instruments are pretty.
People take pride in making instruments, and I'm glad they do. I also, while I was looking up concertinas, did think to myself, how difficult would it be to make one?
Chris, you still haven't finished Chaos Chess.
I worked on it today, thank you very much. It's getting there.
Yeah, but is it finished?
No. I'm very much looking forward to saying, hey, can we test it now? And then I send it to somebody and the multiplayer just explodes. It's what the cool kids play. Look at that. That's cool, isn't it? Look.
Yeah.
You want to play a
Chris's
iron ingot?
Yeah, he is.
Yes. Do you like aim from somewhere?
They are your child.
I've always been like this. I was watching a thing recently about Doctor Who, and they were talking about like how the Daleks have changed over time and stuff. And I remembered when I was a kid, I downloaded schematics of how to build your own Dalek.
Of course you
Fully with the intention of making one and then turning it into like a little cabinet you could like open up and put things in.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously I got distracted immediately, but having reminded myself of that, I did think, oh, could I make like a little one, like a little origami one? I can like hide things in it. Papercraft Dalek can be cute.
You haven't changed since the 60s.
Not at all. Ever since the Daleks first appeared on TV and surprised me when I was 0 years old.
Exactly.
Am I from the 60s? How old was I in the 60s? I've forgotten the law.
Minus 30.
I've forgotten my own law. What?
You were born in the 60s.
I was born in the 60s. Okay, so I wouldn't. But how would I be cognizant? I mean, I remember bugger all of the 90s,
in
and
the
I was born.
60s at 8 years old or whatever Aaron Hansen said.
Yeah. At age 6, I was born without a face.
You remember that?
That sentence made me laugh more.
The most obscure sentence.
Just comes completely out of nowhere. Brilliant. There's that, and
The without a face.
there's a section in at the beginning. I'm talking Game Grumps now. Game Grumps Sonic Boom playthrough. There's a section about what they argue about how they should do the intro, and they keep replaying the intro.
Yeah, that one.
And it keeps getting weirder and weirder, and I laughed at that so hard. I couldn't breathe. It was.
I have maybe watched it 10 times.
Janine Garofalo. I don't even know who Janine Garofalo is, but.
No. Thanks to the internet, we have so many words in our minds that we don't even know what is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll remember them till the day we die.
I mean, in your guys' case, you've got a lot of words. They're called English.
I mean, yeah, also just, like, not being, like, not being natively English. It's just, like, a lot of names that have zero meaning to me, but I know they're funny for some
Oh, yeah,
reason.
totally.
Who are these people? Who knows, but... when you say
Also,
their
I
name,
know-
it's funny.
So many more. I know so many more obscure, well, to me at least, English comedians' names and stuff than I know of people in my own country. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
no celebrities from the last 15 years in my own country.
Oh, I have the exact same problem, Christy. You ask me who's
Yeah.
like a famous Dutch person now, and I wouldn't be able to tell you at all.
Like
I've become a
famous Danish
worse
person from
representative
the last
of the
15 years,
Netherlands.
I'd be like, Princess Diana! That's recent, right?
She died in the 90s,
relatively?
I think. I think
Yeah.
she died in the 90s.
I don't know. All I know is that Princess Diana is for some reason very culturally significant to everyone.
Yeah. I could give you a basic rundown,
Yeah,
but I don't know
'cause
how
she died
interesting that
because
would
of
be.
paparazzi.
Yeah, but there was a lot more to it
no.
than that.
I don't need to know. It's
No, you don't.
yeah, I don't need to know because it feels. I'm also of the mindset of like I don't really want to know these things. It's
It's
because
funny.
it feels weird. It's also especially because I don't particularly care for the royal family, even over here.
Well-
So it feels even weirder to care for like the royal family of a different country in any kind of capacity.
But that's why you
Like-
like Princess Diana, because
I can
the royal
see that.
family hated her.
I do know that. So that's great. I love that for her. But yeah, it's just like knowing things about like famous like English people or American people feels very weird to me. Even though like it makes sense, I live on the internet, but it is still like
Yeah.
I don't care about these people.
Yeah.
I mean, with a lot of folks that, with a lot of quote unquote celebrity folks that I know anything about, it's usually against my will.
Hmm.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But it's like
Like it's
when-
one thing to know, like, hey, here's a person, they've made this, that, or the other thing that you like, or they acted in this, that, or the other movie. That's fine. I don't want to know their personal life.
yeah. No, but it's also like in other like I don't know exactly how to explain it, but like when the Queen of England died, I saw so many Americans being like, "Oh my god, the Queen of England died." And I was like, "What? Why are you guys upset about it?" Like,
Yeah.
Because
my brain couldn't comprehend why that would matter.
for some reason, despite being like proud that they broke away from like a monarchy, a lot of Americans still really like a monarchy, and they've latched onto ours for some reason. Don't know why.
Yeah, it just feels weird, and that's like the same feeling happens when I care too much about like a famous American person or a famous like it's like a weird anti like nationalism, but also it's nationalism of just like I don't care about these people because I don't even care about my own famous people.
Yeah. I get that.
I am still very glad of the fact that whenever there's some hubbub of like, oh, this internet celebrity did a bad thing, every single time something comes up, I'm always sitting there going, I don't know who this person is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be a win.
Mm-hmm.
Dark, the peasant blood runs strong in some.
Yeah. Not a statement I thought I would agree with, but yeah, for some, it is the royal family is really important for some reason.
I want to say it's probably the romanticism of it all. Because, like, when you don't have to deal with it in a real world sense,
I guess.
Oh yeah.
then you can just sort of, like, focus in on the, like, pretty romanticized parts of it while ignoring all the bullshit.
Yeah. It's... I guess that's also why it would be attractive for Americans. Not to bring, like, put shade on you guys. We have people over here who are very royalist as well. It's just that for Americans especially, it's like they don't have a royalty. You guys don't have a royalty. So it's more fairy tale-esque in a sense.
Yes. Yep. I would agree with you on that. Don't have any experience dealing with it on a day-to-day basis, so only thing we really have to work on is stories, and if you ignore all of history and the news, then you just have, like, pretty fairy tale stuff and, like, royal weddings and...
Yeah.
Oh god, the royal
like,
wedding.
tabloid magazine type things.
America loved that. Again, I'm speaking generally. Our media reported that your media loved that.
But yeah, it just feels so weird because when I like, to me, like, royal family, when I think about it in a real world sense, it really doesn't have anything fantasy-esque to me. I've seen they're it's also I don't know. I really have nothing, like, I really don't care about them at all.
Fair.
Yeah. It's also just because every time I see our king, I can't help but think he's just some guy. Which is true. But, like, the looks don't help. I'm just always like, oh yeah, he's just some guy.
You know, I think I'd prefer it if most royalty were just kind of like, yeah, I'm just some guy, not god-appointed ruler or whatnot. Probably be less bullshit if that was the case.
I mean, it still angers me because, like, cool, so we waste, like, a lot of money every year just on some guy. But, you know, it's also just kind of funny of just... That's the reaction I have to, like, seeing the king on TV. Is like, that's my first reaction. It's just always like, oh, right. I forgot. He just looks like some guy.
Say what you want about our king. He doesn't look like some guy. He looks like a painting in Elden Ring.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Looks like the devil.
He looks like a painting in a children's hospital.
What?
Color theory.
Color theory.
Oh, I just had a flashback to like the paintings at the children's hospital I went to, and that was all sad clowns for some reason.
That's
I
great.
Am I gonna paint over Charles as a sad clown now? I'll do it.
No, just take
I mean-
that painting and put like a clown nose on it. That's all you need to do. Don't put any
Yeah, add
real
more
effort
red.
into it. It will blend in with all the other reds around.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know who made that executive decision.
The red painting? The artist?
The clown paintings, but also the
Oh.
red painting.
Oh, right, yeah. Kids like
Well,
clowns, right?
the clown I couldn't tell you. I'm sure it'd say we want something that's like kid friendly, and someone decided clowns was the correct way to go. Whether it was a good direction to go or not, who knows? I will say that when it comes to kids in general, you're not going to be able to get decorations that work for all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Everyone's
also
gotta have some sort of phobia for something.
Yeah, and then also just in general, if it's at a hospital, depending on how well the parents and doctors handle the kid being there, they might just associate everything in the hospital that they see with I'm having a bad time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be something they're exposed to every day. Yeah,
Change it up.
I see. Never thought of it like that.
I mean,
I think-
particularly if it's a kids' hospital, you know, change of stimulus is always, you know,
Yeah. Well, and I
because they're always a good idea. I'm
don't
not a medical
remember what all
professional.
of the
Can't.
rooms had,
can't
but
blame that.
the pediatrician that I had when I was a kid had a couple of different rooms that each had different things in them. The one I remember the most, though, and I think it might just be because it's the room we ended up in the most often, just by random chance, one of the rooms had a bunch of like sea life stuff on the walls.
That sounds much more pleasant.
But what about, hear me out, seal clown?
Yeah, I mean, do a seal, give it the little rubber nose and like the frill around the head. That's a thing.
A kiss from a clown. Sorry.
Kiss from a Clown is a much different song.
Much more horrifying song, honestly.
See, besides clowns that are explicitly trying to be monstrous, like with it, I was never really afraid of clowns. But then again, the dad of a pretty close friend of mine and my brother's when we were growing up was like an amateur clown. Like it wasn't his like professional job, but he did some clowning and magician work and would do it for like church gatherings and birthday parties and whatnot. So
I'm still amazed at the idea of
Yeah.
a church clown.
it was just kind of like, oh, everyone like, oh, clowns
Yeah.
are so scary, and it's just kind of like, eh? Mr. DeWitt's
did-
fine. What are you freaking out about?
I
I
don't
did not.
really have an aversion to clowns, but also I'm like, Other than like horror contexts, I've never seen a clown very up close. Because that's like in horror context, they always like, you see the face up close, you zoom in. My experience with clowns is that I'm visiting a circus and I'm sitting like several rows up away from the, where stuff is happening. So it's not like happening right in front of me. So it's like the only context I have for seeing a clown's face very clearly is horror. That's why it's vaguely unsettling, but not totally terrifying to me.
Kira accidentally watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space as a young child. Yeah, that might do it.
Oh no. I had siblings older than me that watched Chucky. That did it for me.
Yeah.
See, I grew up with a Raggedy Ann and Andy doll, so like all of those like doll-based horror things, it's like nah, they're fine. like okay, so obviously the horror is horrifying, and if I saw a like actual Chucky doll in the style of like Chucky, I'd probably be like, ah, I see. Have a nice day. But, like, I don't find baby dolls that creepy, and I don't find clowns all that creepy.
Yeah, I don't find clowns creepy either, because we have a lot of hospital clowns. And also I didn't know church clowns were a thing.
Church clowns? What?
I think she's referring to back with what I said. Yeah, like when I say church gatherings, it's like the church, like the members of the church are having a gathering or an event, and it's like we'd like to have a performance. Hey, we know some people who do like mild stage magic and clownery.
Okay, I get it a little. Sorry,
It's not like he went to the church during a church service and then stood in front of the pews and like made balloon animals. So that would have been funny.
Balloon Noah's Ark.
Oh,
We're busy.
You have every animal.
Balloon manger, like stables with all the animals around, which apparently isn't in the Bible, but it's a fun image.
I zoomed out in my painting. I changed to watercolor, by the way, in the living room. I zoomed out on my painting, and oh Jesus, sorry, the dogs are fighting, and now I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Oh no. Give dogs conciliatory pats. I don't know why
I'm fighting over a toy.
Calming, stopping, what's the word? Not conciliatory, it's something else.
Relaxing pets. Pet, pet.
Pet, pet. Pacifying.
Passive pet.
Oh, work.
Oops.
Did...
There. Don't do that. Stop it. I almost broke everything, but I didn't. You're welcome.
good.
Well done.
I'm glad.
Clap, clap.
Clap, clap. Yeah. I agree with Kira, who says your painting's very good. I probably wasn't heard because of dog shenanigans.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. Dog be dogging. They do dog things.
Yep. They do silly.
Silly? We won't be having silly here.
Chris, I want you to know I had the immediate thought of God, that's a very skinny arm, and then I noticed it was robotic.
Yeah.
She's skinny.
It's a new tapeworm trend at Borderlands. I don't know if it's a Borderlands drawing, sorry.
Yes, it is.
You lose a lot of weight by losing a limb, and then gain even more weight by getting a prosthetic limb, which is even heavier.
I will say, like, if it isn't a joke in the game already, but like, losing a limb as a diet scam does sound very Borderlands.
Yeah.
God, you're right.
The realization.
What a cool new way to lose weight. Come here for surgery and just
Come to
shoot
Dr.
your
Zed's.
arm off.
New weight loss surgery. By arm.
It only cost me 2 arms and a leg.
Literally.
Hang on.
Ay.
Hey.
This just reminding me there was I think it was a TikTok floating around. So, you know how in 2020 everyone just sort of freaked out and then just bought a whole bunch of toilet paper for no goddamn reason?
Yeah.
What a great
and
summary
then
of
it was
2020.
I mean, there was a lot of other stuff happening, but there was also a lot of people figuring that they just needed so much toilet paper,
Yeah.
and it was impossible to
Everyone
find.
just thought they were gonna shit themselves to death. Yeah.
So there was a TikTok floating around of a gentleman watching a news thing talking about, there's like some shortages, and he's like, oh no, not again. And then it's got a flashback of him like half behind a car holding up a thing of toilet paper. It's like, honey, I found some, and you'll never guess what it cost me. And then he shovels off to the sides, and you see he's a double amputee missing an arm and a leg.
I think I saw that too back then. Yeah.
Disabled folks are some of the funniest goddamn people out there. Hilariously, my dad accidentally was part of the problem, because so he decided, okay, you know what, not a great idea to go out to the store to buy a whole bunch of things. Anything that we don't need to check on or doesn't need to be fresh, we're just going to order in, including things like paper towels and toilet paper rolls and soap and stuff like that, because it's like that can just be sent to the mail, it's fine. He thought he ordered like 2 packages of toilet paper rolls, like thing you pick up from the stove. He got 2 packages, as in 2 boxes of toilet paper rolls instead. And he was like, oh no.
Oh dear.
I don't know why, but I thought you were gonna say pallets.
Yeah.
Oh god. God, no, that probably would have given all of us a heart attack. But yeah, that was like, well, that's significantly more than I thought that was going to be. Because basically thought it was going to be just kind of like two, like you go to the store and you get a wrapped thing with like,
Yeah.
depending on the size, 6 or 12 rolls in it. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'll get 2 of them. That way we could just do this once. And then we got 2 boxes, and it's like, oops.
Interesting.
He did indeed get 2 packages of toilet paper rolls. Hilariously, I think I'm pretty sure he hasn't bought much in the way of toilet paper rolls since then because, again, lots of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say hilariously. It sounds more sensibly. All the smoke is nearly rendered. Bear's painting smoke, by the way.
I thought that was a joke earlier.
Gotta make smoke.
I mean, I didn't. That seems like a weird euphemism for a joke. Painting smoke.
When you're painting,
I mean, I know blowing smoke is a thing.
Sloan, right?
I was thinking because watercolor is not fun to paint smoking. And we
Again,
were talking about that. Never mind.
I spent way too long on this, and now I don't know what to do.
I mean, it looks
I'd
great.
say draw her calculator, but that's going to take even more time.
Yeah, little robot.
Draw a little chibi version of our calculator.
I mean, can that just be its name? Its name's just calculator. I'm gonna pull out my calculator, and people are like, "What?" And then they're like, "What?"
Yeah, Chris, I hope you know I expect you to make all the maths puns.
Okay, the next question is, will anyone else get the maths puns? Because
No,
there's some
but
very
that's a different
esoteric
issue.
things.
Can I? Sorry, I'm gonna throw this in, which is almost certainly not worth it and might make me look like a fool. But I need to make somebody aware of it. Because during family dinner today, us being silly, I have a silly family, believe it or not. And my brother made a little lettuce boat with some little vegetables in it. And my mum saw it and just sort of pushed it along. I was like, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. To which I responded, celery, 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 celery. No one heard it, and I'm so annoyed. Because I'm like, that was the best joke I've made today, and no one heard it.
Well, now we heard it.
I just needed to share it, needed to get it out.
And it's great.
Bloody loud.
Good job.
Loud pubs,
So
honestly.
Bear has two other potential ideas for the name for the robot: Abacus or 80085.
How about Abacus hyphen 80085? Everyone's on a metaton sort of thing.
Metaton.
It is Metaton, right? Yes, Metaton, not Metatron.
Yes.
Metatron, something different. Metaton, yeah. Confuses me because Tron sounds more like a robot.
But
it
it is
isn't.
Metaton.
This is the other way around.
So does that mean it will have sexy legs?
If they can get an upgrade later.
Will you give it sexy legs if I give you the opportunity?
Maybe.
I guess the next question is
This
it
is
sentient enough to want its own sexy legs?
Also fair.
Maybe. This is Borderlands, so probably yes. That is the conflict between Abacus 80085 and Rowena. Is can I have sexy legs now, please? No. Complete your calculations. No.
Can't have sexy legs before everyone on Pandora knows maths.
Once we reach our goal, you can have all the sexy legs you want. To be fair,
Must get paid for a job first.
yes, that too. And I have a sneaking suspicion that whoever sent Rowena down to do this job has no intention of paying.
I assume they just think she's dead at this point. Which is probably convenient because the company is in ruin, or whatever. Every company is in ruin.
So you know how, like, spoilers for Undertale, I guess? Well, like, how can I phrase this in such a way that it isn't spoilers for Undertale? You know how circumstances change, what with the sexy legs and all? Like, there's a bit of a dramatic shift.
Yeah.
Can I just, like... like, the only thing that changes is the legs. Can I...
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Okay, good.
Was thinking of specifically that moment when I offered you the opportunity of sexy legs.
Wonderful.
Which is why I didn't say sexy anything else.
I feel like that's also really Borderlands.
Yes.
Exactly.
Also, I feel like this isn't even just a someone pulled a gotcha, it's a this is what the robot wanted.
Oh, yeah.
The
Robot's been after this for age.
robot wanted sexy legs. It didn't want the Miku face. That's fine.
They are very happy with their upper body.
Yeah.
The lower body they want to change.
We don't know how the sexy legs help with calculating things, but I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
It can be like with 2B, and it's just like there's some memory storage in the butt.
Storage in the butt. Brain butt.
But for brains, yes.
And yes, that is word of God for 2B. There's memory storage in 2B's butt.
Anyway, there's phase 2.
Phase 2.
Phase 2, Abacus 80085. Or for their full name, 513-8008. No, 531. 531.
More dog.
More dog.
Yeah.
Little Grumps. Well, I don't know what else to draw. Is that a time to time?
Yeah, you did great. Look at these two perfect characters. No notes.
Can you tell I didn't feel like drawing feet?
Yes.
I mean, depending on how pedantic we want to get in Borderlands, it could be the case that the feet are just wheels still. Because again, it just wanted sexy legs.
True.
Never said it didn't want to go on wiki feet. That's a hard no.
Feet, very inefficient. Just like, just wheels, like rollerblading around everywhere.
Yeah.
Rollerblading sexy legged robot. That's very Borderlands.
Yeah, it is.
So they just want to rollerblade. That's the whole thing. No, got to do mouths.
They want to become
You'd have
more than
no
just a cheap
feet.
calculator.
They've got they could have feet, they could have wheels. But either way,
Yeah.
they're the same. They're the same character. It's
Yeah.
the same. It's the
It's
same number.
character, just with sexy legs.
The same number, regardless of base. It could be wheels or feet, or jet engine. How do things float in Borderlands? Do they have like wibbly wobbly floats, or do they have jet engine floats? Or
I think it depends. Anything is possible, really.
okay.
Because there are like little hover boats that have just, like they're bringing like floaty bits, but also rocket power, anything, cool. Yeah, go for it.
There's no rules in Borderlands. What am I talking about?
There's no rules on Borderlands.
But this has been a nice time. A cool painting of Forestman. We have Raccoon with snacks. Raccoon with snacking. We got a bit of Amara and a bit of Bo. And then some other stuff. Bye. Hope you had a nice time, everybody.
Yeah, have a good time.
Thank you for joining.
Bye.
I will be back Tuesday morning with July comic doodles, and then Tuesday evening with the Lies of P. So, yeah.
Lies of P.
Lies of P.
More
I know.
lying.
So many P.
Yes, much P. What?
Much P.
Much P. Mushy peas?
Mushy P.
Mushy
We're
peas,
getting
everyone.
further away. And a happy Crumblemas to you.
Mushy peas and a happy crumble mist. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.